Good morning, everyone. I hope you slept well. Of course, if you're watching this, you probably haven't been sleeping well because you've been struggling with things that are going on in your life and you're feeling a bit hopeless. I know how you feel. I, you don't know how I feel? Um, yeah? Yeah, I do. Because I've been there myself. I've been in a position to where I was thinking about suicide. I've been in that position a few times in my life. And the last time I was in that position, I could have been successful. But fortunately for me, with all the work that I've done in self improvement, in mental health, in my quest for spiritual truth, I had received a lot of training and was aware of technology that could help me make it through. It was like I could tell that it was coming, that there would be a point in my near future that I would be faced with a choice. And that occurred. I had a breakdown and felt like the entire world was against me. I felt alone. I felt hopeless. And being in the military, I felt that all of the leadership all of the leadership was organized against me to push me to suicide. During my recovery process, I found that that's true. That the way that the military structure is and the mentality of the leadership, especially the antisocial type leaderships, they will mob you. And mobbing is different than being bullied. Being bullied is usually one person. And one person, one bully is pretty easy to deal with. But when you have a mob, that's a group of people who are organized to do everything they can to set you up for failure. That's what happened to me. And I discovered that I wasn't alone in that. I discovered that there was a study conducted by a general in Iraq and Afghanistan, and he had an extensive study done to find out what was causing his troops to commit suicide. And they found that in every one of the cases, every single one of the cases, and there was about 30 during this time period, in every one of the cases, it was the leadership that was pushing the individual over the edge. So if there's someone in leadership that is looking at this right now, you need to take a really good look at yourself and find out what you're doing to push your troops over the edge. The number one reason why you're having issues with that soldier is because they don't trust you. You're not trustworthy. Oh yeah, they have to follow your orders. They have to do what you say, because you're assigned over them. But with that assignment comes certain responsibilities for you, because they entrust you. Those soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines that are assigned to your unit and you're in a leadership position, to take care of and make sure that those soldiers have everything that they need, and that those individuals have everything that they need in order to survive on the battlefield. And if they don't trust you to do that, if you don't care about their thoughts, feelings, and emotions, they can't trust you. And they'll be resistant to everything that you ask them to do, because you're not trustworthy. So I want the leadership who are listening to this, I want you to take a good look in the mirror and see what you are doing to push these people to suicide. Now, let me make this perfectly clear. Your troops are going to have emotional problems when they're on deployments. They're going to see things and hear things that they're not going to believe. They're going to see and hear things that are so disturbing that their mind just can't comprehend how anybody could do anything like that. They're going to have situations that are going to happen at home that they have no control over. Perhaps they'll try to call home and not get an answer. And then they'll send a friend over to find out what's going on. And when the friend gets to his house, he's going to find out that his wife is gone with their children. That she's packed up everything and moved out. Left no forwarding address. Disappeared. That's going to cause your service member to have some serious emotional problems. And you're going to have to help them through that. Not by force, not by disciplinary actions, not by Article 15s, not by relieving them of duty, not by reducing them in rank, Not by doing anything like that at all. The way that you help your troops through this is you talked to them and help them understand that where they're at right now, there's nothing they can do about it. It's one of those things that they're going to have to put in a box and set aside for later and then deal with it when they can. And you're going to have to provide them an opportunity to let off steam and express their emotions. Because usually soldiers try to deal with this stuff themselves. Now, when I say soldiers, I'm meaning all troops, all members of the service. They'll try to self-medicate with alcohol or drugs. You need to have some compassion here. Absolutely, we don't want our service members high or drunk on duty. Absolutely not. Too much is at stake for that to happen. But the way you deal with the alcohol and drugs is not by threats of force and violence. These people need counseling. They don't need pharmaceutical drugs. They don't need to have their mind messed with any more than what it already is. They need to talk. They need to communicate. They need to apply the simple technologies that are there. Simple technologies that they can use in their barracks. They can use by themselves. They can use in groups. These are proven technologies that work. And they've been proven to work time and time again. And they're simple. We call it energy psychology. It was originally coined as tapping. This is one technology that you could use anytime, anywhere. Tapping, or energy psychology. It may seem kind of strange or weird while you're doing it, but it's very, very effective. And there's a whole science behind it. There's many studies behind it that prove that it works. It's currently recognized by the World Health Organization as an effective means of treating post-traumatic stress. Without drugs. I want to switch my attention and my conversation to the troops that are thinking about suicide right now. I'm telling you, I know where you're at. I had a plan, detailed plan on what I was going to do. Step by step, how I was going to proceed and do this. Fortunately, I had an attentive counselor who was able to communicate with me in a certain way to help me resolve my problem. She was able to help me understand that this is not an all-time thing. What I'm going through is not an all-time thing. It's just a sometime thing. And if I can hold out till the end, I will come out stronger on the other side, more capable on the other side. clearer on the other side, happier on the other side, more successful on the other side. If I could just hold on and make it through. Now, this may require you to seek help outside of the military system. And most of the time, I would recommend that. Because inside the military system, I know currently it's broken. And they're lazy. And they're not willing to help you. They're not willing to do what it takes to help you work through this. Because what they'll do is they'll give you psychotropic drugs and medication, which destroys your brain. You might be taking some right now to help you cope with things that are going on. With what I'm going to teach you here shortly, hopefully you won't need those. And you won't feel the need to take those. And whenever the doctor, psychiatrist, psychologist, whoever asks you to take a psychotropic drug to help with some perceived and illusionary chemical imbalance they say that you have in your brain, ask to see the blood test that proves it. It's informed consent. They're saying that you have this chemical imbalance. Ask to see the proof. What's the chemical balance supposed to be? What is normal? And show me with blood tests or chemical tests or whatever where it shows that I have a chemical imbalance in my brain. And then with whatever psychotropic drugs that they try to issue you, ask to see the white sheet on it. That's the information sheet that talks about the side effects of those drugs. And while you're reading that, if you see any indication where it shows that, and it says that it increases thoughts of suicide, thoughts of depression, thoughts of all of these things, if it says that, make the decision. Be informed and make intelligent decisions. There's a better way. There's a much better way. A much safer way. You can do this in the comfort of your own home, wherever you're at. Doesn't matter if you're out in the field. Doesn't matter if you're in your barracks, in your car, alone in a hotel. You can do this. I'm going to show you this technique. And I want you to do your own research on this. You can go to www.emofree.com, emofree.com, and find out all the information that you'll ever need on this technique that I'm going to show you. It's simple. It's easy. It's based on ancient Chinese technology, acupuncture. Your body has certain points on it, certain meridians, they say. We call them chakra, but they're acupuncture points. And when you apply tapping to these particular points, it disrupts, it actually realigns the disruption in the electrical system in your body. This is causing you to feel hopeless. It's causing you to feel anxiety. Causing you to feel these ways in your body, which cause you to respond in certain ways. Sometimes inappropriate ways. So follow along and repeat after me. Apply any changes to the focus of the event that I'll be using. Change that to anything that applies to you and continue tapping and following along. Okay? And repeat this as often as you can and as often as you like. Use your own words once you get the hang of it. Just try it out. See if it works for you. I'm confident it will. Okay? I'm going to talk about these points as we go along first, and then I'm going to apply and communicate in a certain way to help you work through the anxiety. Okay? So, first, we have the karate chop point. It's right here. Right along this line here, and we're going to tap on it. You're just going to tap on it like that with your fingers, and you can see that I'm tapping pretty good. Okay, it's not a little light tap, but it's a pretty good one. You can see that I'm moving my hand, and you want to sense how that pressure is, because you want to use that entire pressure through all the other points that we're going to be using here. Okay? So, as we're tapping here, we're going to say, even though I'm feeling this anxiety, depression, anger, fear, pain, whatever applies to you, even though I am feeling this anxiety, this fear, this pain, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I am feeling this pain, this anxiety, this anger, whatever it is for you, I deeply and completely accept myself. Now, we're going to tap on the side of the thumb right here, right on the edge where the fingernail hits the cuticle right there. We're going to tap there. And we're going to say this pain or this anxiety or this fear or anger, whatever works for you. The same place on the index finger. Okay? Right there. This fear. On the middle finger. Same place. This fear. Skipping the ring finger. I'm going to go to the pinky. This fear. This fear. We're going to go to the back of the hand. Right here between where the bones separate here, right in that space. Okay? This fear. is fear. Now, while we're tapping on that, we're going to look up without moving your head, look down, look to the right, look to the left, count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hum a song like Happy Birthday. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Now we're going to tap on the eyebrow. It's right here, right where the eyebrow ends. And we're going to say this fear, or this pain, or this anxiety. I'm going to tap about 7 times. Move to the next one. Side of the eye. This fear. This pain. This anxiety. And under the eye, right under the pupil. This pain. This fear. This anxiety. And under the nose, it's right in between the nose and the lip. This fear, this anxiety, this depression. On the chin, it's right in between the lip and the end of the chin, right in the center. This fear, this pain, this anger. And then we're going to move to the collarbone. Now the collarbone, we're going to find out where it's right where the sternum, you got the sternal notch there, right over to go to the right or left side, it doesn't matter, but where the collarbone attaches to that. And you can feel it move when you move your arm. Okay? So right there where the bone connects to the sternum. Same thing, this pain, this anxiety, this fear. And then we're going to go under the arm, but it's right under the nipple. Okay? To the right or left side of the nipple. There's a spot there, and you'll be able to feel it when you tap on it because it's a little tender. Say this fear, this pain, this anxiety. Then you're going to move straight on across to right under the armpit and tap there. You'll be able to feel that too because it might be a little tender. Saying this fear, this pain, this anxiety. And then the top of the head. This fear, this pain, this anxiety, this anger, whatever it is for you. And then to the eyebrow point again. This pain, this fear, this anxiety, side of the eye, this fear, this pain, this anxiety, under the eye, this fear, this pain, this anxiety, under the nose, this fear, this pain, this anxiety, this anger, on the chin, this fear, this pain, this anxiety. Good. The collarbone point. Remember, it's right where the sternal notch is, right where the bone is, and you can feel it move. Right there. This fear, this pain, this anxiety. And then right about where your nipple is, right to the outside, just a little bit. This fear, this pain, this anxiety, this anger. And under the armpit, this fear, this pain, this anxiety, whatever phrase works for you. And to the top of the head, this fear, this pain, this anxiety, this anger. Okay? And good. Through this entire process, you take your own personal responsibility for your health and well-being. And as a disclaimer here, this is not meant to treat, cure, or take care of anything. So apparently individuals can't cure themselves or heal themselves or take care of themselves or communicate to themselves or do any kind of self-treatment or self-therapy or anything like that. Apparently the American Medical Association finds that illegal, that individuals can't take responsibility for their own health and well-being. Sorry, I'll get off my soapbox here. But this has been proven to work in many cases. May not work all the time for everybody. I don't know, because I'm not working with you. But you can find lots of videos, lots of information out there on energy psychology or tapping. There's lots of information out there on that. So I recommend that you take a look at it and really take responsibility for your own health and well-being. And apply these technologies that work. It worked for me. And I'm here because of it. I'm here to share this information with you because of that. And I want you to stay here. I want you to be prosperous. I want you to grow. I want you to be better. And you can be. What you're going through right now is temporary. It's not a permanent thing. It's a sometime thing. Sure, there might be things going on that you say will affect the rest of your life. Yeah. Everything that you do every single day affects the rest of your life. It does. But you can choose to move beyond that and overcome the obstacles in your path and be successful. Many people have. There's a way. There is a way. So, for those of you who are struggling right now, watch the tapping session again. Do your own research and find out as much as you can on this. You can do this on your own. You don't have to do it in front of anybody. Nobody needs to be there to help you. At some point in time, you may want to share this with your friends and battle buddies. But give it a try. Give it a try. That's all I have for you today. And I hope that you live long and prosper. As my good friend Spock would say, life is well worth the living. It's a great adventure. Yes, there are struggles. These are put in our way so that we could overcome them and become stronger. Just like working out in the gym, you got to stress in order to get stronger. And I leave all this with you, with the blessings and grace of God. I wish you well.